Wrigley's Spearmint Gum presents The Howard Miller Show. And now here with music on records is Howard Miller.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You keep punching the name that way, and I'll take you along when we travel this show to the four corners of the earth. And there are probably a lot of people who wish that we would. Good morning, everyone. That was smiling, handsome, old, lovable Eddie Joyce, the gum-chewing member of our firm. Of course, we all are when it's Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. I know that you'll like it. Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum in that delightful white package that, of course, when you open up, means all the good, refreshing, wholesome flavor that only the best product in the world can give you. Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Later this morning, you're going to have an opportunity of meeting one of our favorite recording artists, a young lady who records for the Atlantic label, a great star of the show world. Her name is Laverne Baker, and she has some interesting things to say. But first, here's a fine old-timer in the business, Mr. Frank Sinatra, now about as old as tradition but still as fresh as Wrigley's Spearmint, with a brand-new Capitol recording called Same Old Saturday Night.
Went to see a movie show, found myself an empty row, thought the show was just all right, same old Saturday night. Then I made the usual stop, coffee at the coffee shop, friendly face nowhere inside, same old Saturday night. I really thought the papers I bought would help me forget you for a while. Believe me, honey, the funnies weren't funny. They didn't even make me smile. How I wish you'd lift the phone. Fun is fun, but not alone. Till you let me hold you tight. Same old Saturday night. Papers I bought would help me forget you for a while. But believe me, honey, the funnies weren't funny. They didn't even make me smile. How I wish you'd lift that phone. Fun is fun, but not alone. Till you let me hold you tight. Same old Saturday night. Only your face Saturday night.
Gee, that's tomorrow night already, isn't it? Same old Saturday night. When you're soaping up in the shower or in the tub and just sort of pleasantly relaxing and enjoying yourself and all the foam and the bubbles, I hope you'll give a thought to this program and make it a resolution that you're going to listen to us every single day of the week, because we've got some real vital programming coming up pretty soon. We want you to be a part of it every day. And also, of course, when you're taking a shower, Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. You try it. Well, now the other day when her great troupe was playing here in the city of Chicago, we had an opportunity of speaking to a very lovely lady of song. Her name, Miss Laverne Baker, and so we wound up the old tape recorder again, and the sounds that came out were about like this. Well, Laverne, I know from the box office attendances out there at the Regal Theater that you're really breaking it up on Chicago's great South Side. I suppose you're having a ball out there with the entire cast of the Rhythm and Blues package, huh?
Well, I'm very happy because it is my first time playing the Regal.
Yes, and Chicago is your home, Laverne.
Yes, it is.
This is a thing little known in the industry. I certainly didn't know it. I thought that you were an Eastern girl. Were you born in Chicago?
Yes, I was.
But, of course, you don't get an opportunity of spending as much time here as I suppose you'd like because of the demands of your business.
Yeah.
Laverne, you've established yourself as one of the outstanding rhythm and blues performers in the entire nation. Now, that's a type of music, of course. But it seems to me that some of the great things that you've turned out on the Atlantic label give you a deserving billing in the pop field. Do you think it's going to happen to you, or are you content to remain a rhythm and blues singer?
Well, I've got my fingers crossed.
You would like very definitely to become an artist in the pop field much more than just rhythm and blues, wouldn't you?
Well, yes. I mean, I'd like to hold both.
Huh?
Yeah.
Now, in your career proper, are you spending most of your time in theaters, or is it mostly in the nightclubs or club dates? What sort of work do you enjoy doing most?
Well, I enjoy club dates best.
It seems to me that in a great many of these sounds, particularly this record that we're going to play in a few minutes, The Lucky Old Son, that you have a great sound for gospel work, like our own dear Mahalia Jackson. Do you know Mahalia?
Yes, I do.
Have you ever done any gospel work at all?
Yes, I was raised in church, and I used to sing in church.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
What actually started your career in the pop field, Laverne?
Well, the group that's behind me, the Gliders, the tenor singer come in the studio with this silly number, and he says, do something with it. And Ahmet and Jerry, they're the ones that own Atlantic Recording Company. They liked the idea, so my arranger and I, we sat down and worked, and finally we had a thing called Tweedledee.
And it was called Tweedledee.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, that became a tremendous smash hit all across the country. Laverne, how do you feel when one of your records breaks out and becomes a substantial hit, and then one of the so-called pop artists, the representatives of the pop field, cover it for their label, and it steals some of the thunder from yours? Do you feel any resentment at all that an arrangement is stolen from you?
Well, yes, Howard, the artists do. I mean, most people know that when a number is recorded, anyone can do it.
Yes.
But the fact is that someone will do your arrangement which you paid for.
Uh-huh.
See, that's the thing that hurts. I mean, I did someone else's number, too, on the flip side of Tweedledee.
Yes.
Lonnie Johnson, he made Tomorrow Night back in completely different.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But the two arrangements are completely different.
Yes. So, in other words, the creative work you feel belonged to Atlantic and to you.
That's right.
And not to someone else who might beg, borrow, or steal it.
That's
However, these things are happening in the business, and I know that you personally hold no grudge against the individual who does it or the record company. It's just one of those things that do happen in our business. Well, now, how long actually have you been a professional singer, then, Laverne?
Well, I'll tell you, I've been in Agfa since 1940.
Been in Agfa, been paying your union dues since 1940? And in that span of time, of course, you've worked, I suppose, in practically every state of the union, have you?
Just about.
Do you find your audiences are about the same all over the country? Is there a difference to the acceptance of rhythm and blues in one state as compared to another?
Yes and no. I mean, it all depends upon the singer.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like myself, I can sing anything from blues to bop, classics, and, things. And I do maybe one of each until I find out which more is accepted, and then that's what I do in the club.
Yes. Well, after this long and great success of fine records that you made for Atlantic, great hits like Tweedledee and Oh, What a Dream, I would like to expose to the American public today, for I guess maybe the very first time, because you just made it a couple of weeks ago, a very beautiful thing that I'm very, very pleased that you did, because it certainly shows the versatility that I knew your great artistry possessed. It's your brand new Atlantic record, and I would like to introduce it now properly by saying, here is Miss Laverne Baker with That Lucky Old Son.
Up in the morning, out on the job, work like the devil for my pay, while that lucky old son got nothing to do but roll around the heaven all day. Toil for my man, sweat for my kids, work till I'm wrinkled and gray, while that lucky old son got nothing to do but roll around the heaven all day. Good Lord above, don't you know I'm pining? Tears are rolling in my eyes. Send down that cloud with a silver lining. Lift me to paradise. Show me that river. Take me across. Wash all my troubles away. While that lucky old son God
course, was Laverne Baker, her new Atlantic release called That Lucky Old Sun. Just a delightfully wonderful thing, Laverne. Don't you like this song? Don't you think it's a great song?
Yes, I've been singing this number ever since Frankie Lang first cut it. I've always liked it. And I had to wait 6 years before I could cut it.
Why is that? You mean the representatives of the label didn't want you to do it?
I don't know. We let it die to bring out a number. We let it die
for a
while, and people forget it. Then bringing out something new and different, and they'll be interested in it, I think.
So you've just been biding your time for these 6 long years and waiting until...
I've been doing it in club appearances, and I sung it here in 1947 when Al Benson had his TV show.
Oh, yes.
And I got 8 weeks on his TV show with Lucky Old Sun.
Well, Laverne, I want to thank you for coming up to our studios today. I wish you the very best of luck in your tour. I know that you're leaving this package that's now current at the Regal Theater and going out on your own. You're going to Atlanta.
Yes.
Then you're going up to Youngstown, Ohio. And I think the day that this broadcast will be heard by you, you'll be in Youngstown. Yeah. I hope you get a chance to listen to our CBS station there.
I got to take my radio to the nightclub.
Thank you very much. Gee, just a wonderful person, Laverne Baker. That was a tape recording of an interview that we had with Laverne here in our CBS studios in Chicago, and it was certainly a fine privilege and a pleasure for us to have this representative person from show business. You know, this completes just 8 weeks that we've been on the air for Wrigley Spearmint Chewing Gum on this particular program. I hope that a great many of you have listened to all of our shows, and if you have, of course, you've heard a lot of the great stars. And you've been nice enough, as Americans always are, to write me some pretty swell letters, and take my word for it, and this comes from my heart. I'm most deeply indebted and appreciative to you for the efforts that you've gone through in writing to me. I think one of the sweetest letters that I received, and I don't say it because it's slightly commercial, but I say it because it shows the wonderful spirit of the American people. I had a letter from West Roxbury, Massachusetts, from a lady up there just this morning in the mail, and she says, and it was very interesting, we listen to your show every noon, and I meant to tell you, just as you say, spearmint gum is swell, Wrigley spearmint gum. For years I've not chewed on a piece of gum, so when you ask your listeners to try some, I did. And it's real good. It's easy on the nerves. Isn't that nice? Here's a lady who says she hasn't chewed gum for years, and just because we asked her to do it, she did. God bless her, boy. I wish everybody in the world would believe radio announcers that way. But believe me, you can believe me when I tell you that this is the finest product in all the world, Wrigley Spearmint Chewing Gum. Now, this is the weekend, and I know that the Wrigley people would much rather have me talk to you about safety and caution in the highways than even selling their product. So will you please be careful? This is going to be a nice weekend all across the country, and if you go out favorite picnic grounds and places like that, please drive carefully. And I have great faith in you gals in the audience. You can usually keep your husband from going too fast. You make certain that you assert your influence from the back seat, will you? And remember, Wrigley Spearmint Chewing Gum, this is Howard Miller saying thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you Monday at the same time. Bye-bye, everyone.
You've just heard The Howard Miller Show with music on records brought to you from Chicago by Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. Be sure and join Howard Miller Monday at this same time when his guest will be Gail Storm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is the CBS Radio Network.